All right, y'all. So we got another interview today featuring the legendary Chicago rapper Montana of 300. Sir, welcome to the BTE TV podcast. It's a pleasure and an honor to have you on here.
Appreciate y'all for having me, man.
Yes.
We just had a really good talk with him right before we hit record, blah blah. You're really a good guy. You know what I mean? Like that was a nice little talk. You feel me? And it wasn't even like he was putting on for the camera. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he knew.
That was like no shit. So
me, man.
So what you want to do? You want to?
So we're gonna do this kind of like a conversation. We just want to kind of start at, for people that may not be as familiar with you as I would say most people are. Just give a little background on who you are, like where you grew up, childhood, and then we'll just kind of level up from there.
All right. Well, I'm originally from the south side of Chicago. Some projects called the PCs, which stands for Prairie Courts. As later on I got older, like around like 8th grade, freshman year, I think they tore them down. They tore our projects down or whatever. But the streets 2822 South Calumet, that's the street that I'm from in Chicago. That's where I grew up most of my childhood at. When I got around like 6th grade, I went to about 2.5 hours away from Chicago to Peoria, Illinois, and that's where I met some of my homies that I do music with now. Some of y'all might be familiar with them or not, but Tally of 300, No Fatigue, and J Real. But I ended up coming back to Chicago in 6th grade, and then when I got to high school, I went back to Peoria and I did 4 years in high school, and I was probably like junior high school, stuff like that. That's when I kind of really started taking rap more serious, and I was hustling, at the time. Me and all my friends, my homies in Peoria, we was hustling. So when I say hustling, I mean like we were selling pounds of weed, and that's how we was investing in our music career. You know what I'm saying? And out of all of us that rap, it probably was like 9 of us at the time. Like I had always got the most praise out of the group. Like man, dude Montana, that dude, whoever that dude Montana is, on that CD y'all put out, we were selling mixtapes, out of our cars, and just in the streets, we making serves and showing motherfuckers, hey, we got this mixtape dropping, we got this, blah blah blah, we having this party, we having this show, and it was like we was like local superstars. So the people that was buying the CDs and we hearing people around the town blasting shit, and we getting feedback and stuff like that, and I always just kind of stood out. The most out of us. And so I knew I had something special, basically.
Like
and
delivery. You think
say it again?
I would say your lyricism and your delivery is probably what makes you stand out above.
Yeah, definitely. I think the most, as far as like my craft, I grew up, I was a student, still of course a student of hip hop growing up, but I got to witness, I feel like it's really a blessing, really, for witness hip hop during the time that I witnessed it in, and really being a super student of it in like 2007, 2008. And who had the game back then was Wayne. And I remember he dropped Upgrade You remix to Jay-Z and Beyonce's song. And that's when I really like seen like, man, this dude, every line back to back to back to back was a bar. And it's like nobody's doing that. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like inspired, like I need to learn how to do that. I need to get to a point where I'm so good to where I can do that. And so at that time I felt like the only person in the world that was better than me at rapping was Lil Wayne. Then I remember getting to a point in time to where I feel like, 2012-ish, like, hey, I feel like we are tied now. I feel like the only person that can match me is him. Then I remember like 2013 going into 14, it was like, okay, now I feel like nobody's on my level. Like any topic, anything anybody wants to get on, I feel like there's no place I can't go. If you want to talk about some real shit, you want to talk about some pistol shit, you want to talk about some street shit, you want to make shit for the bitches, you want to talk about verses, you want to talk about hooks, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the hell however you want to take it, you want to talk about Black history, anything, the government, everything's like, I feel like I will out rap whoever. And then I remember getting to a point to also going back to being a student of Wayne, seeing him make so many remixes of other people's beat and outdoing them on their own beat. Like, I'm out rapping you. You know what I'm saying? I admired that too. So now it's like I've got to the point to where like you can show me any flow, and just because I'm a better lyricist, I could take that same flow and out rap you with your own flow. You see what I'm saying? So that's another thing I'm able to do with remixes is do that, and then I can always, I like to switch up my flows. I don't care to rap one flow the whole beat, so I might switch up my flow 5 or 6 times on one beat, and I might pick one of those flows that I picked was the original flow from the original artist. So I showed them that I could do this. I could take this same word that you used, and flip it into so many other things that that the original artist never thought of, or may hear my shit and be like, damn, how the fuck didn't I think of that? You know what I'm saying? Or how the fuck did I think to match that with that? Certain things like that. So I think Wayne is a big inspiration as far as me knowing how to do that and being able to do that and just really setting that bar for me lyrically, to be able to or want to surpass him. You know what I'm saying? If that makes any sense.
Yeah, sure. Not a lot of artists can compare themselves to Wayne.
Yeah.
Facts.
Say like I've surpassed Wayne.
No. Right.
So you know that subject about your songs. What song out of every single song you got? What song is the one song you're like, man, that's my most proud song? Like, you feel me? Like, what to you was like, this is it? You know what I mean?
I think I have had multiple songs that made me feel like that. I've had songs too that made me feel like, okay, I don't think I'll ever be able to outdo this. Like I think I came out with like Heat Stroke, this song called Heat Stroke at the time, and it was the intro to my second album called Fire in the Church. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think I'll ever be able to outdo this song. Like this probably is my best song as far as getting out of people's reach and showing people that I'm the most lyrical, And then I came up with a song a year later called God Strong. And I'm like, man, I think I just outdid myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, this probably is better, And so for a long time, God Strong was the one for me as far as like showing, this is the proof that I'm the rap god. I'm the best rapper, ever, And then I started coming with some that's like just real debatable with those, because it's hard to break love, if that makes any sense. Like when you love something, and to say I'm going to give something else your spot, it's kind of hard to do that, because then it makes you almost feel like you're not being loyal. You know what I'm saying? When it's like having a new favorite song or a new favorite player if you have to be fair. You know what I'm saying? So if you're fair, has nothing to do with being loyal. You see what I'm saying? Like, are you really being fair by being loyal? You see what I'm saying? Like, because I could be born, it's like, oh, let's say I'm born in 1980s. I'm born in 1987, and Michael Jordan is this player that I'm being shown. I'm like, man, there'll never be another player like him. This is the best. I love him. When I make that decision and say, hey, I love him the most, this is my favorite player, it required me to leave nobody else. I didn't have anybody before him. You see what I'm saying? And then when Kobe comes, and it's like, man, he's moving just like him. He's moving, he's moving exactly like him. You know what I'm saying? I said there would never be another player like him, And it's like I'm thinking about changing my mind, but that loyalty is telling me just, like it'll make me feel like a bad person if I leave Jordan, as if he needs me. You see what I'm saying? To make him better. Like, Jordan doesn't need my, you know what I'm saying, my approval at all, So a lot of times that's what it is, even sometimes with religion or like I said, in my case, with just, man, this is my favorite song. It's like, damn, somebody asked me what's my favorite song the next year, and I'm kind of feeling like this one more. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of have your own personal relationships to your own your favorites, and I kind of have my own personal relationship to my own favorite songs and stuff too. So I would just say, like, those cream of the crop songs, as far as showing that I am the best, is more so like the Heat Stroke, the God Strong, Undertaker, the Crow, my song called Rap God. I got a song and an album. I got a song on my album, The Rap God, called Rap God. But yeah, just songs like that. I feel like I'm forgetting something too. The song Souvenir. Just a lot of stuff like that. But usually my intros on my albums, those are the songs that I really try to put the concept of the whole album, whatever the title is, into that song, and also show that if nobody else listens to any song past track number 1, they'll at least know right off the bat, that nobody's out rapping this dude. Nobody's fucking with this dude. Go show me your Jay-Z song that matches this. You know what I'm saying? Or go show me your favorite rapper song that matches that. You know what I'm saying?
You big into like battle rap?
I used to be super heavy when I was younger. I think I watched so much battle rap just being a student of rap, to where I kind of like I overdid it. You know what I'm saying? To where it's like now I almost don't have the patience, like especially. But another thing, now that I'm older and I'm more I have way more responsibilities and way more things to handle, I don't really have 2 and 3 hours to sit on the internet watching battle rap. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm sitting there and it's like I've been sitting here for 20 minutes listening to dudes rap and waiting, it's like, I'm not really watching to be a student anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like I've already got my spot as far as the industry and hip hop and who I am, and you know what I'm saying, and things like that. To where it's like now, so more so, I feel like not that I can't learn from them, but it's almost in a sense to where I feel like they would be able to take more from me than what I would take from them, if that makes any sense. Yeah. Because in their realm, they're just looking to disrespect each other. You see what I'm saying? Opposed to, I'm not looking to rap for, disrespect. I'm more so seeking substance really right now. Substance and, teaching and, just how I can grow as a rapper and be outside of just shoot 'em up, bang, bang. You see what I'm saying? If that makes any sense.
Yes. I actually, my thing is like ciphers and battle rap. I don't care hooks. I don't care about, but that was the way when we did music. But I love ciphers. I love battle rap. I think that, listening to a lot of your music, it's like, I've heard you say before, like, you're not the guy that, even though you are as lyrical as you are, and, with metaphors and all that, and typically rappers have that skill so much, they lack the other, like, song making.
Yeah.
You don't lack that. Like, you're very, like, you have a lot of layers to you.
Right. Facts.
A lot of why you are as successful as you are.
I think the balance. I think the reason I'm like that is like my first love for music was more like R&B, like old school R&B, like before I was born. So I grew up watching movies like The Five Heartbeats. I'm hearing my aunts and uncles and all them play all these songs. Like, how do I know the words to these songs? I don't know the actual name of the people, all these people, but I know the words to these songs. And they was made in the 70s. You know what I'm saying? These songs made in the 60s, 70s, 80s, things like that before I was born. I'm just like, so I always had an old soul. You know what I'm saying? So at the same time, I'm listening to these songs and I'm not thinking that these are winners in history. These are winning songs in history that the world love. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hearing all these different cadences and melodies, you know what I'm saying, and these paces and tempos and things like that of things that already won in the past. They already won people over. So that's already kind of embedded in me. And then as I'm growing older and I'm seeing the Tupacs and the DMXs, the people that aren't R&B, the Tupacs, the DMXs, Cash Money Records, Lil Wayne and blah, blah, blah. And then here's Nelly and Ludacris and, different people like that. And you seeing Jay-Z, the Jadakisses and all this other type of stuff. And it's like, okay, now I'm gaining some of that. You see what I'm saying? And then you kind of just, also I'm witnessing the R&B shit, you know what I'm saying, that's going on at the time. The R. Kelly, the Usher, Genuine, whatever the hell. So I'm seeing hip hop and R&B on the regular, plus what I grew up with, listening to all that music that came out before me. So I think a lot of that just kind of really gave me balance of, being versatile, if that makes any sense. And it's just like, you always hear certain people want to single people out for one thing. Like, it's very closed-minded to say, oh, all Steph Curry could do is shoot. It's like, it's very closed-minded. It's very closed-minded to say all Kyrie could do is dribble.
Yeah.
But it's people that, we know that there's going to be people that say that, and we know why. Because this stands out so much for this person, you know what I'm saying, that it will make the knucklehead ignore all the other goodness about him, you know what I'm saying? So, all Zion can do is jump, all it's like, so I pride myself into being like the GOAT of rap. When I'm saying the GOAT, I mean the Michael, the Kobe, and LeBron. And what I'm saying by that is the Mike, because I'm so much ahead of my time. Like, this isn't normal. The way that I'm moving, you're not going to really find players that's moving quite like this until 30, 40 years ahead of time. That's how it was for Mike. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's like, any night, who's gonna match me? You know what I'm saying? Like, you go really look back in Mike era, it's like, show me another guard that's averaging 30 points. You can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Show me a guard that's averaging 25. Out of all those 13 years Mike was with the Bulls, I think it's been one other guard that did that 1 year, and that was Dominique Wilkins. For 1 year, he averaged 30. Mike did it like damn near every year. 30 plus, 33, 31, 30, 30 again, 30, 35. You know what I'm saying? 30. It's like he was in a league of his own, like literally. Like it's some people that could say Mike, I could say Mike is in a league of his own, and they say that's true. And then when I tell why, they might say, "Hey, no, man, you trying to diss Mike?" It's like, no, he really had no competition on the guard level. The other main scorers that was the leading scorers were big men, so they wasn't Mike matchup. So Mike thinks I'm gonna kill your guard more than you kill my big man. We see who win at the end. You see what I'm saying? But you're not my problem. I don't have to worry about y'all being my problem. Mike didn't have to guard guards that was the franchise player. You know what I'm saying? That was the guards that was the leading scorer on their team. You see what I'm saying? So it really was no matchup for Mike. So that's why I say I'm the Michael Jordan, because I really have no match other than myself. And it's been like that since like 2013. I've literally been matching myself. Like, how can I either match what I did already or surpass that? That's always been my goal. So that's the Mike.
That's like the putting yourself there. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, I think the thing that makes you so great though is because you've accomplished all this without a major label deal. You know what I mean? You're doing everything.
Right.
So you being independent, bro, and just doing the shit you have. Like I said, I'm only 26, so I'm talking about back in the day. I was listening to Wife and You feel me? Like,
right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's just, bro, and that song was humongous. It's still humongous. You feel me? And like, bro, just the shit you've been able to do without that, you know what I mean, major label push. It's because you are great at every aspect that you do. You know what I mean?
Facts. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, some people don't know that the same person that made Chiraq is the same person made Wifing You, because those songs are so total opposite. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yeah, they're my two biggest songs. But yeah.
That's something in your music that I think is so it's noticeable. Is, like I said earlier, like you got a lot of layers to you, but you put them all into an album, and it's like this goes from way over here to way over here. Mm-hmm. I'm saying that shows like a whole lot of range.
Yeah.
And I feel like that goes back to you saying like you don't have nobody else really that you're just comparing yourself to you, because nobody is really doing that level of range on an album.
Yeah.
Facts.
I think it's
true, man.
It's commendable.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Gratitude.
So I want to back up just a little bit. I want to talk a little bit more about your childhood. So I've heard, you talk in other interviews about your childhood. I don't think I've ever heard you talk about your siblings. Is that something you're cool talking about?
Oh yeah, that's cool. I have two brothers, they're younger than me, and I have three sisters. I have an older sister, and I have two younger sisters that's in Texas. I'm not too close with them just because our age difference.
Yeah.
So we kind of grew up in the house around different times, stuff like that, and I know about this generation of kids and stuff like that. It's a little bit different from ours and things like that. But yeah. So but I talk to all of them. I have a relationship with all of them. Some closer than others and stuff like that. But yeah, they all proud of me, man. They brag on me, and they play my stuff and give me feedback on my music and stuff. I share stuff with them before I give it out to y'all, to the world. You know what I'm saying? And see what they think. And sometimes I text and ask them. I send them a song. They might send some fire emojis back or something like that, and I'll be like, what's your favorite line? And they'd be like, man, I gotta go listen back like 5 more times. You were saying a lot of shit, blah blah blah. And then they might text me back 5 or 6 different lines and shit throughout the song, or the day is going past. And they'd be like, oh, and you said this too, blah 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 blah. So it's just certain shit like that. It's good, just connect with them and stuff like that. But yeah, my older sister, I would say she's probably the one that I have an older sister who's 4 years older than me, and she's probably definitely the one that got me more in tune with hip hop, I should say.
Yeah.
Or just seeing her be a fan of it, seeing her be a fan of the stuff that's on BET, MTV, and it's bring her excitement. You know what I'm saying? So the little brother, or like, I want to see what do you look, what are you excited about? What's going on over there? So that type of shit. She kind of bought that around. Then I also have my dad who had his radio and he had his cassette tapes, whatever, and he was playing who he's playing. Most of his stuff is like hardcore more than opposed to what's on TV. You know what I'm saying? So I had the balance of both. You know what I'm saying? I've seen the R&B videos and, the R&B groups because I'm watching BET and 106 & Park with my sister. But my dad, he was more so listening to the Tupac, the Cash Money records, you know what I'm saying? Want to be a baller, Houston rappers, all type of stuff. I'm like, damn, who's this new rapper he got in this cassette tape case? And I'm unfolding them and flipping them out, and I'm seeing the cars and jewelry and stuff like that, and Nas and the Violator with Pharrell when he came out with that, such a vibrant thing and all that type of stuff. And Noriega, that's when I first heard of Noriega, seeing him inside my dad tape case. Certain things like that. So a lot of these things, which is really dawning on me now, is like my dad and my sister was really my introduction to a lot of these big names. You know what I'm saying?
Good. Something you brought up was like cassettes. Like I remember you saying that you had to read books in order to get cassettes, right? Was that your dad?
Yeah, my dad, 6th grade, I started wanting to start my own collection of cassette tapes. And I think the first one I got, I'm trying to remember the order, but I'm gonna tell you what the first two was. The first two cassette tapes. And I don't remember the order of these, but I want to say DMX first. Yeah, it was definitely DMX first. So I wanted DMX cassette tape. My dad had his. I knew he wasn't gonna let me take his with me. So anyway, I was staying with my grandma at the time, which was probably like a 15-minute drive from my dad's house. Which to me at the time, as broke as we was, felt like an hour drive. But anyway, I would go down there with my dad on the weekends, and I would stay with my grandma during the weekdays. And I was super huge, big wrestling fan, NWO, D-Generation X, all this other type of shit. I was super into that. And I'm like, could you buy me my own DMX It's Dark and Hell is Hot tape? And he was like, yeah, but first you gotta read this book. So he gave me a book to read. And the first book he had me read was this book called Sounder about this dog and little black boy. So I'm like, all right. So he had me report to him after every chapter that I read about what I read and what happened, So I'm reading, doing this. So I finally finished the book. He picks me up Friday after school. We drive. We go to this record store called Co-op. We're going inside, tapes galore, and yeah, I want the blah, 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 blah. Dude go in the back, bring it out, get the plastic around it. I'm happy as hell. I'm smiling, getting the passenger seat, unwrap it. I remember the fresh smell of the brand new cassette tapes and everything, And I'm like, man, this is my start of my collection. So I just remember being a kid writing, pausing, every second, DMX lyrics and writing it down in my notebook. Pause, unpause, write it down, trying to listen. What did he say right there? I'm writing it down, not knowing that I'm being a student of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? I want to remember it so I can say it and I feel cool. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I know something that everybody else don't know. You know what I'm saying? So I remember doing that. Then my next tape in my collection was Juvenile 400 Degrees. And then, which my dad had that tape too. So now this is my first Cash Money Records artist, whatever tape or whatever. And I remember unfolding the little booklet pamphlet thing to the cassette tape, and they would have all the pictures of their previous albums and some of the albums that was like about to drop. You know what I'm saying? So I think I remember seeing like, oh man, Lil Wayne gonna come out with his first solo album. Like this is gonna be tough, And I remember being excited about that. And the book that I had to read for that 400 Degrees album was it was a Malcolm X book, and it was a lot of stuff that I heard about the name, growing up at the time in 6th grade, but it's like I didn't know a lot of details, So I had to report back to him after every chapter, and when I finally finished that, that's when I got on to I got the 400 Degrees tape, and yeah, so those were like at the time I didn't want to read, but it was like I needed to. He gave me some type of goal to reach. You know what I'm saying?
That was my
And
question.
now,
Do you still read now? Like
yeah, hell yeah, yeah. I got plenty of stuff. I'm always ordering books and stuff, man, and
Your favorite
buying
book?
books for people. For a long time, my favorite book was 48 Laws of Power, and it's not that I don't agree with everything in that book as far as being right, but I still appreciate that book because even the things that I don't agree with, it allows me to know that there are people that operate that way. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So and it's good to just know people's trickery, as well. It's like almost we finna go have this championship game, and I don't want to watch film on the team we finna face. You know what I'm saying? It's like that you don't have to choose their ways, but it's important that you know their ways. You know what I'm saying? You know what they're capable of. You know what I'm saying? You see how they operate. And that doesn't mean if you read this book that you're going to operate that way and have no control over yourself. It's like, no, be aware that there's people that move this type of way too, you know? So I would say that 48 Laws of Power is my favorite book. I'm gonna stick with that. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that.
That's your suggestion for everybody. Read 48 Laws of Power.
My suggestion to everybody is probably read this book called Mindset.
Okay.
Mindset, yeah. I forgot the author name, Carol something. But I know it's a blue and white book. But I think everybody in life should probably read that. And it's another great book too called Three Magic Words. It's real good too. Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm definitely a reader, and I make sure my sons do it and stuff now. You know, they want certain stuff. You know, yeah, read this book real fast, or even sometimes I might just get a book and I might be like, yeah, they want to do something real fast. Like, yeah, just read this chapter. You know, it might take 15, 20 minutes. It's like, okay, then we're finna do what you just requested. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, knock this chapter out. You know, because sometimes you put too much on the kid's mind. You know what I'm saying? It's like this whole book and trying to take it in. It's like, no, read a chapter and let that marinate. But yeah, that's about it.
All right, man. So talk to us about sports and college and how you went from being in that realm to realizing like you're going to take music serious. Or did you prior?
No, there was like I was doing music in high school, just trying to see where it could go because I knew I had some talent. But like I said, hustling with all my homies and stuff like that, I went off to college for a track scholarship and to possibly play football too. I was real good at football too, just my heart wasn't in. I just was real good to play running back. And in high school and I was a sprinter. My fastest time in the 100 was a 10.6. And I believe my fastest time in the 200 was a 22.2. And but yeah, I never really was that kid that went the extra mile to put in that extra work, if that makes any sense. You know, as far as track and stuff like that. I could just run fast. You know, it was never like I had this dream of being in the Olympics or I had this dream of being in NFL, you know. But I definitely dreamed of, you know, being a rapper one day. You know what I'm saying? Imagine myself, you know, being that. And I remember getting to college and I had access to a weight room 24 hours. So I remember being in a weight room. I remember eating more than I ever ate before because I had access to a cafeteria. You know what I'm saying? Like all day, whatever, too. So I'm eating 3 times a day. I'm drinking so much orange juice. Like back then, like high school, it was like you got to pay money for orange juice. You want orange juice out the vending machine. You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't really. And then when you get in the house, you know, it's like a couple of glasses from people, and it's like it's all gone. You know, so it was like never unlimited orange juice. So I get to college, and it's like that. You know what I'm saying? Like really, I get orange juice. I can go get 3 cups and take it back over here with my tray. So I remember drinking orange juice like 24/7. Like I was drinking orange juice so much to where like the only time I did have water was at the water fountain. You know what I'm saying? Like at the gym. You know what I'm saying? And I had a scare. I remember I thought I thought I had an STD or something because my piss was starting to burn at the end of my piss. You know what I'm saying? I'm in college. I'm looking like I got a girl and shit. I'm like, I know this bitch ain't, you know. So now then I'm in class like that. I just went to the bathroom before class. Now I'm in the middle of this 50-minute class and I have to use the bathroom again. You know, so I'm watching my piss be darker. You know, so I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, hell no, this can't be right. I'm like, I need to go to the local fucking doctor or some shit, you know. So I go there, I'm telling him like my piss is darker than ever, blah, 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 such and such. I'm telling him, you know, what I think, and he's like, nah, man, he said, you know, you got a bladder infection. And he was like, do you drink a lot of water? I'm like, nah, definitely not a lot of water. And I told him about me drinking orange juice, and then he laughed and he said, you know, that's what it is. He's like, so you need to drink a lot of water, you not drink a lot of cranberry juice. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, yeah, you don't have a STD or anything like that. That's you have a bladder infection. So I'm like, damn. So I remember going through that in college, and also like I said, eating so much and lifting, I was definitely in the best shape of my life, but I was like bigger, a little bit bigger. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, damn, I go home and visit my friends, I'm gonna be looking like the damn security guard. You know what I'm saying? Opposed to, you know, the best rapper and shit like that. And I didn't want to get so big, you know. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna eat how I've been eating, but I'm just gonna cut it into 2 meals a day instead of 3. You know what I'm saying? And but I remember just really telling myself in college too, like you know, I felt like I can go to the NFL, but I didn't feel like I would be the best running back ever. You know what I'm saying? But I remember thinking in college, like, I think as good as I am at rap, I think I could get to a point to where I might be able to be the best rapper ever. Like I probably could do that. I feel like that's way more in my reach. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I felt like I'm a really, stick to and go super hard, full throttle with the rap shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I might not be able to get better than Wayne, but I might be able to get close to him. You know what I'm saying? Or I might be able to pass him. I think I could pass him if I just, work at it and stuff like that. So I literally remember thinking that. And so yeah, that's how it transitioned really for me. Like I always been able to play basketball, football, run track, stuff like that. Speed is needed in any sport. Yeah. And things like that. So some people now I might go to a city that I'm gonna do a show in, and I might go to the LA Fitness or some shit like that. And people look like, damn, like this nigga hoop. Like I thought you rap. I'm like, I can't do 2 things. You know what I'm saying? I only does all I can rap and do nothing else. So some people be blown away when they find out that I was in the sports and stuff like that. But yeah, man, it's all fun. It was a good learning experience and just everything, all around. It all made sense at the end of the day, even for my timing, because back then at that time I wanted a deal, but I lacked the knowledge that I know about the industry now, you know what I'm saying, and things like that. So had I would have gotten what I wanted when I wanted it, I'd probably be in a way fucked up situation right now, and a whole lot of Montana 300 y'all probably would have never heard.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about somebody who I feel like, us being the same age, like he has to be some sort of inspiration for you. Maybe I'm wrong, but I want to ask you about Eminem.
Okay, I would say not a huge inspiration or anything like that, but
really
definitely being a student of him. I mean, of hip hop, you see him. It's like you see him, you hear him when he pops out. You know what I'm saying, and things like that. And the respect has always been there. You know what I'm saying. But as far as me, like I've never purchased the Eminem CD or song or anything like that. But Tally of 300, he was more into Eminem, way more into Eminem than I was,
See, I'm not really big on Eminem neither, which I do acknowledge he's one of the greatest rappers ever. Yeah. I'm not, you feel me? Like
it's not my style of rap, really. Like it's just, yeah.
But I acknowledge it. Like I said, I acknowledge he's great. But it's just not my.
Even on the topic of him, I've heard people like speak to, and I understand this too. Like it's certain things that certain things, a lot of things Eminem says that I would never be able to get away with.
Yeah.
Or you as a rapper would never be able to get away with.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, just things like, we can never go out in the hood and make a song about killing our mom and everybody fuck with us. You know what I'm saying? Or say we're the best,
I was just looking for I had never heard you talk about Eminem, and knowing your age, I was like, that I felt like you was gonna say like, oh yeah, he was a big inspiration. I just never heard you say that, but I mean,
right. Yeah, but I seen it's like, no, you look at a successful person and you want to be a successful rapper or successful at what they do. You know what I'm saying? Then it's like, to me, you got 2 people in this world. Either you're gonna see a person who the fuck they think they is and you're gonna hate them, or you can see a person and be like, shit, he's doing what he's supposed to do. Why would I hate? Like, he's executing, he's doing what he's supposed to do. Why not salute him? You know what I'm saying? Why not, do certain shit like this? So it's some people that look at people and feel like that should be me instead of him, or that shouldn't be him at all. You know what I'm saying? Or people be like, why me? It's really people that look over other people and be like, why him? You know what I'm saying? And things like that. So yeah, I always looked at Eminem like, if you have an ear for hip hop and you listening, then you can tell that he's sharp. His mechanics and everything is sharp. Like, you could tell he's been a student of hip hop. You could tell he knows what he's doing. But the thing in this hip hop culture thing, especially with Black people, is they feel like a lot of them feel like you have to be cool. You have to be cool. What you say, like yeah, he might have said a corny line, but I see the creativity in it. I see the wittiness and the cleverness within that corny line. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but he's white, so we might let him get away with that. You know what I'm saying? Well, the Black dude is like, come on, Jay-Z, you can't be saying that corny shit when we think you're cool. You know what I'm saying?
Relate to that, bro. I'm so corny. Yeah,
and it's okay. It's okay, but you know, it's some people that act like we can't fuck with you because you said, you said that corny line, or you said this, or you did, you did this, or some people try to make something corny even though it's not. You know what I'm saying? So, certain shit like that. But I'm like, man, you got to understand the white boy. He's not me or you. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not us. So whatever means something to him, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the beauty of being an artist too, is that you should have the freedom to express yourself. You know what I'm saying? So if you take that away from him because he has to be cool with your black ass, then you really not being friends with this white dude. You know what I'm saying? 100%. And it's like, so it's like, fuck all the coordinates. You can never think of something that's that creative as that white dude. So you can hate all you want. So that's how I'm looking at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like on that level, I respect him, as an artist. You know what I'm saying? For his creativity mainly is what I'm saying. Look, I think he said too before, he said he got some albums he put out that he's really not too proud of. Oh, yeah. And it's like, another thing I learned too, and I learned this in college. I got an A in speech class. This was probably my favorite class in college. But it said, when you're giving a speech or a lecture, one of the most important things is your attention getter. And it was like, it's two ways to get an attention. And I like to use both of them. One of them is like to say something that can't be ignored. You know what I'm saying? So he said, if somebody came out, all the kids sat down and they was getting seated for a lecture, and then the professor yelled out, some dude that's coming to talk to the school just yelled out in front of everybody, and he said, I have AIDS. That'll get everybody's attention. You're like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? It's like, what the fuck is going on? What is he finna say next? You know what I'm saying? Because it's so off the wall that we finna witness something that's never happened before, and don't nobody want to see a rerun. You know what I'm saying? So if you if he was to open up the show and say, they killed my baby, it's like, what the fuck? It's like, this ain't normal. We tuned in. You know what I'm saying? So say something that they can't ignore. And I think Eminem had mastered that, coming out, you know what I'm saying, from the hi kids, want to see what I did? Want to see me stick 9 inch nails each one of my eyelids? And Dr. Dre said, nothing, you idiots. Dr. Dre's dead. It's like, he's talking about the dude that signed him or the dude that put him on. He's saying he's dead in his basement and he's cool with that. What's up, baby? Can I go to the playground? You can go to the playground.
But I can pick.
You can pick. Okay, let me finish this interview, okay?
Why?
Because I got to do this, okay? I'll be right back in a minute, all right? Have a seat for a second. Have a seat. Come on. So, yeah, that. But the other thing about getting people's attention was making people participate. Like all the kids sitting down, you say, "Can I get a show of hands of you? How many of you in here grew up without a father?" You see what I'm saying? Then they start raising their hands. They looking around, see who else raising their hands before they raise their hands. Certain shit like that. It's like now you really have their attention. So that's why I say I like to use both of those things when I rap. So my approach is, how can I say something that's never been said before? Not just say it because it's controversial and it has no sense, but say something that makes sense, holds substance, and will really catch their attention and make them participate by having to connect the dots of 2 and 2. Oh, you get it? Such and such, such and such, such and such. So what he's saying is, now I'm making them participate because I got you breaking it down. Whether you're breaking it down to yourself or you're breaking it down to your homie sitting next to you, you're participating. You know what I'm saying? You're going, you have to do a certain part. You know what I'm saying? You have to put in some work now, opposed to just sitting back and the whole song passed and you're like, damn, I was just vibing. What the fuck did this dude say? You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, he made you participate the whole goddamn way along the way. You had to do a part to get it and figure out this puzzle. And it was like this, and that now they appreciate your brain more. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Now you can go, you drop the #1 album in the country and you didn't have to buy a piece of Louis Vuitton or Gucci to do it. You know what I'm saying? All that type of shit. Like they respect your brain. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's what it is. But I definitely respect the mind of Eminem, from artist to artist. A lot of people may not get him or understand him, and things like that. So it's like my reason for the times that I have enjoyed listening to his music and things like that, it has nothing to do with being cool. You know what I'm saying? Or me looking for him to be cool in any aspect. Yeah.
Well, to get back to that was just a question I had. So basically, you drop out of college or what
Yeah,
happened
I dropped out of college and I used
to music?
I dropped out of college my sophomore year, because I found I had a son on the way.
Okay.
And honestly, that was my cop out because I really wanted to.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? And I use that as my excuse so I can go back home and hustle again because I was missing so much money. You know, people like, man, I'm like, man, I'm out of town, man. I'm in college. I'm like, damn, I'm adding up in my head, doing math for no reason. Damn, I missed it. I would have made this much today. I would have made this. Oh, this is $10,000. So it's like I had to tell myself, stop doing that shit because you're gonna stress yourself out doing that. You know what I'm saying? And so now it's like, okay, I got a son on the way. She said she's gonna keep it. I'm finna be a father. I need to get some money. I probably should stop going to school here and go to a local college there, and then I can still hustle. Yeah, that's my new plan. I'm gonna do that. And it's like at the same time, I didn't want to let my family down. You know what I'm saying? Because they was happy that I was going off to college and away from all the bullshit. So yeah, that's how that went for me.
So then you go back and you start doing that, but I mean, you're still doing music during this entire period.
Yeah,
Right. So
I'm
then
still finding time to get in the studio.
what happened that made you say, okay, music is what I'm gonna do?
I wouldn't say nothing's necessarily happened, but after getting in the studio and you putting out shit, you know, and you constantly seeing the comments and the things, and you know, a lot of artists might feel like, man, I'm the best, but ain't nobody fucking with me, ain't nobody fucking with me. But it's like once you put that shit on the internet, it ain't no you know, motherfuckers on the internet don't got no sympathy. You know what I'm saying? If your shit trash, you're gonna see a lot of those comments. Like, no, yeah, you might have one hater here and there, and shit like that. But you know, when somebody could break down your trash, you know, this nigga said such and such, like that shit is, you know what I'm saying? And it's like when you put your shit on the internet, and it's like and you study seeing, man, this nigga better than Wayne, man, this nigga better than Eminem, man, this nigga the best, man, this nigga a problem, man, this nigga a problem, man, blah blah blah. We fucking with you all out here in Switzerland, man. We fucking with you out here in blah blah blah, such and such, man. When it comes to this rap shit, man, you got it. Like all these comments from different people, different places, states, you know, cultures, all that type of stuff. And it's like I can't be crazy, you know what I'm saying? To think that I was the best or to think that, you know, I made the best version over this beat, you know what I'm saying? So certain shit like that. And once you start getting that reassurance that you're not just in your own personal feelings and only living this reality in your mind, you know, it's kind of like a pat on the back or, you know, a keep up the good work type of sign, you know what I'm saying? Or keep your foot on the gas, I should say. So I kind of just that was building up over the years, you know? So now it's like to the point to where like I got this shit. Like I know what it takes. I know when to let off the gas, when to press on the gas.
Yeah.
You know, certain songs require a certain level of intellect, and some stuff doesn't. You know, it's like it's no need to make a song for females, and I got all these sports references in it when females don't really know, you know, who the fuck that player is, and you know what a fourth down, second 2-point conversion, all this other shit. So it's like, you know, certain things for certain occasions, I should say, or certain people, you know, certain fan base. Yeah.
So all of a sudden, you go from putting out music and then you start making money,
Mm-hmm.
right?
So after Chirac, that's when I really started making money. Like this ain't no I'm selling CDs in the streets no more. This is I'm on the internet. This person lives in a whole nother state. They're buying my shit and it's coming to my bank account. Like yeah, that was after Chirac.
How old was you whenever you started like popping?
You said how old was I?
Yeah.
27. I think DMX was, Jay-Z was too. Yeah.
I think Kanye was 28 when he.
See, now this hope because I'm about to be 27 in like 2 months.
Being
Get it, man.
I always feel like
yeah, he's old. You know what I mean? But I grew up with all older
the same
people.
age as him.
You know what I mean? I grew up with all older people. You know,
right.
like I was always that little young cat, which I'm almost 30 now. Thinking about it, I'm like, man, I got to do something. I was like, we got to get this podcast going because me and him. You know what I mean? Like it's been my best friend since I was a little kid. You know what I mean? So like, constantly like we just sit around and talk shit. So I was like, man, we got to get something popping. But yeah, it's nice knowing that usually because a lot of people say that they don't start really the life don't start taking off until they get a little bit older.
It'd be so much stuff to learn, man, along the way, you know. And we be so confident in what the fuck we want at the time, especially being young. Yeah, I want this. I'm sure I want this. And it's like, man, that's probably not the best thing for you right now, dude. Like, you know, everything's happening on God's time. So, you know, this may happen for another person sooner than it happened for you, and you mad, you know. But it's like, man, that shit could really save you from something, because a lot of people don't know that just because it's a good deal doesn't mean you're dealing with a good dealer. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Now,
And that's the thing. People are just looking for a good deal. They think a good deal means you're dealing, because you could come to me and I could be like, hey man, I got these 10 pounds for you. Boom. You buy 6, I'm gonna front you the other 4, and you bring me back and you say, okay, cool. And I say, smooth. And this other dude over here tell you, Ari, look, you don't gotta pay me shit. I'm gonna give you these 10 pounds up front. You already know that's a better deal, right? And then, but if I tell you, but don't, if you play with my shit, well, I'm gonna kill you.
Fuck that money up.
It's like you dealing with 2 different type of dealers. You see what I'm saying?
Money to fuck up.
It's like, this dealer, you might fuck up and he be like, all right, look, this is how we can fix it. This other motherfucker might be like, I ain't got no tolerance for dude. Go ahead and do that to him.
Yeah.
And if you listen, I think 50 Cent just said in a recent interview, he said, man, there's people that he knows that's never squeezed the trigger, wear suits and sit in offices, way more powerful than gangsters on the street.
100%, yes.
And it's like, man, you can't estimate a motherfucker just because they smiling in your face, or this is a white man look like he never lived a day in the hood. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, he gives you, he's offering you something that's good. You know what I'm saying? Or that sounds better than your other options. You know what I'm saying? It's like that grass green and shit is a whole different concept. It's things making things appear this way. Yeah, the grass is greener, but what do you know about the motherfucker that's cutting the grass? You know what I'm saying? Or fertilizer. You know that you got to deal with them too. You're not just dealing with the deal; you're dealing with the dealer as well. So a lot of people don't understand that, but sometimes it takes time in life to get to that point. You know what I'm saying? Or somebody might hear this podcast or that part of the interview and be like, "Damn, I needed to know that." You know what I'm saying? Just because it's a good deal doesn't mean you're dealing with a good dealer. But yeah.
So look, when I first hit you up, you said you was getting into doing, a podcast. You're about to start a podcast. What you about to do?
My podcast will be called The Universal Plug. So y'all be on the lookout for that. We got a lot of big names that'll be on there and stuff as well.
Yeah. Well, so when you trying to get into that?
I'm gonna start shooting next weekend, and I think I'll probably start releasing episodes maybe in June, like middle of June, before I go on tour.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I know we was talking about age. As I've gotten older, my mindset has changed. I'm sure yours has too. So I want to ask you about that transition as somebody who's in the public eye as much as you are, and obviously being probably still in hip hop, it keeps you young, it keeps you energized in that realm. But I've also noticed that you kind of went from, in a sense, glorifying, street life to and speaking out against it. Like Homecoming King, obviously, is you're like
So this
how
this how I feel about it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just wondering how do you make that transition while also staying, I assume that being in hip hop, you still have like a youth about you. You know what I mean?
Right.
How do you do that?
So being mindful is everything.
Right.
So to say that, what I mean is like, I think a lot of people sometimes get too wrapped up in, am I this, am I that? You know what I'm saying? Labeling themselves, even like, for instance, like the whole vegan shit. You know what I'm saying? People, are you vegan? You vegan? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, I don't eat meat no more. Oh, are you vegan? And it's like, I'm not looking for a label to attach on to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I might eat some fried chicken tomorrow and be like, damn, I really shouldn't have ate that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and then some people will be, this nigga talking about he's vegan, he just ate some chicken yesterday, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? Or want to bash you for certain shit because you ready to stick a label on every goddamn thing, And usually, like I said, going back to being an artist, you should have the freedom to express yourself, So you got some people that may beat themselves up, like, man, I don't want to make music like this no more. I feel like I'm leading the kids down the wrong way, blah, 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 such and such. And they were like, I don't want to do this no more. And it's like, cool, if you truly don't want to do it, don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Now, let's say you might pay me for a feature, and the concept is shoot them up, bang, bang. You know what I'm saying? And I could either be like, no, I don't want to talk about that no more, so I'm not going to accept your feature money. Or I tell you, pick a different concept. I should have the freedom to do that based off how I feel, So at the same time, as a creator, you know what I'm saying, I should be able to, you know, whether I'm Tom Cruise, Mel Gibson, or Montana 300, if I want to make a violent movie called The Terminator, you know what I'm saying, starring my black ass, no homo, you know what I'm saying? It's like I should be able to do that without your kids saying, hey, since he just made a movie of this machine, this killing machine that looked like himself, you know what I'm saying? Now all the kids want to go shoot up everybody. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, if you can't decipher that, whoever the creator of that movie is still went home to his kids at night and, you know, was a good dad and a good brother and a good son. If you can't decipher that, to see that at that moment he knew he was entertaining you, he knew it was lights, camera, action going on. You see what I'm saying? Y'all know that those guns wasn't real, even though he was doing this in the camera with his finger all day. You see what I'm saying? You know, and you never saw somebody's life get taken in that music video. You know what I'm saying? If you can't decipher those things, you know what I'm saying? To where some people really do believe, it's like the art of believing. You know, it's like these kids, they really believe that the Chief Keef did this and the Dirk pulled up on them and such, you know, and the NBA young boy be having shootouts all the time and getting away from the, it's like your imagination has no limits.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that can send a lot of kids and a lot of people off to where thinking that this is how they live. It's like, no, NBA young boy may be the most loving, you know, father in the fucking world. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean he's a stranger to this violence. You know what I'm saying? And even though he hasn't had a violent situation since, goddamn it, he was 16 years old, maybe, that doesn't, who are we to say that you don't ever speak on it again? Or don't ever talk about that when you entertain, you know what I'm saying, ever again, you know? Or who are you to say that I have to only make songs like Shoot 'Em Up and Bang Bang, that I don't get to make a song like Homecoming King, when I'm talking about telling kids to leave the streets alone and warning them about jail and how homies will switch up on you and your mama be the only person bonding you out and the only person paying for your casket and all this other stuff. Who are you to say that I can't rap about that too? You know what I'm saying? When that's on my heart, you know what I'm saying, at the time, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's kind of what I expected you to say, because I know that, you know, depending on how you feel that day, might be what that you talk about that day. I mean, you had a break,
right.
That's you're gonna feel a different way.
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, that's essentially what I expected. I just wanted to hear it.
Yeah, and there's some people, you know, you just want that balance. Like, damn, I feel like I need one of these type of songs on my album, so I'm looking for that type of beat. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like I'm missing that range. You know, my album just needs another. Oh, I need a song for the females. You know what I'm saying? And you might put a song out, and it's like, oh, what female you talking about? It's like I was making a song for my. It's like, no, I think you dedicated this song to. It's like people have their own thoughts about your music sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like, you know, you got the old school R&Bs. You know, they have so many different kind of. You know, every song is R&B, so they might have this song about breaking up, another song about staying together. You know what I'm saying? Another song about cheating. You know, different shit. And it's like, you'll be all over the place. So is he talking? It's 15 tracks. Is he talking about 15 different girls, or is he talking about 15 different things that they went through with the same girls? Like, people can use their imagination to match anything to your situation just because it's you, and look past the fact that I'm an artist. You know what I'm saying? I have to be versatile. I can't put on a rerun. You know what I'm saying? I have to hit them with something new that I haven't hit them with before. I can't have 15 songs that's talking about fucking all the time when I know how to paint the picture of real life situations and relationships. You know what I'm saying? And things like that. So some people just, you know, I done had people say shit like, man, we don't want to hear that wife and you shit. My Chirac, my time, you know, we want to, it's like, it's some people that do want to hear guns and shit all 24 fucking 7, you know? And you got some fans, my fan base, that they want to learn. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really don't care for the gun shit, bro. I like when you be rapping like on the woke conscious shit, blah, 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 and you talking to your kids and blah, 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 talking about being a parent and how to raise them. Like, I like that Montana 300. Then you got some people, man, I like the auto-tune Montana 300, like the saucy shit, blah, 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 I like that. And, you know, you got the female fan base that want to, could you please make more songs like Wife and You? Can you make more songs like Wife and You? Could you, yeah, make some more stuff for us. So, you know, being Montana 300, you kind of got a lot of shoes to fill, or a lot of different type of fan bases to please, I should say.
For sure.
So look, before ending it, I'm gonna ask you this: after music's over with, after you're done out the music business, what plans you got coming after that? You got any investments? Like, what's your business plans?
I'm already working on that. And right now I'm basically done with my first book. I'm in the process of editing it right now. So I'll be having a lot of books coming out. But I'll still be doing music while that's even happening. But yeah, I'm gonna be a top selling author. Save that part when I said that, because when it happens, you can make a little clip where it says I'm gonna be a top selling author, and then we're gonna see the little picture next to it saying top selling author multiple times. I'm gonna get into movies. I got movie scripts that I'm gonna be shopping around. I'll still be making music. I'll be making soundtracks to my movies, things like that. I got a lot of stuff going on, man. So to me, it's not necessarily a thing of stop this, start that. It's like, just let's get the ball rolling in multiple areas.
Yeah.
You know, one thing may pop before another, because I always have my syllabus, but at the same time, some things might get the rolling faster or quicker, you know what I'm saying, or have a bigger impact than what you even expected, you know what I'm saying? And some things may be a little bit slower, you know, and things like that. But you know how they say, don't quit one job until you get the other job started. I'm a firm believer in that too. So I think now is the time. So like I say, I plan on putting my pre-order out for this book, and probably before I go on tour, I'll probably put the pre-order out for the book before the end, and I'll probably drop it in maybe like September.
Send us a copy.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody will know about it, man. I'm gonna be putting it out there.
So look,
One more thing though. I know May 20th is coming up. I know you said no more solo albums.
I'm gonna drop a visual for y'all May 20th.
That's what I was wondering. So I know
I'm gonna drop something for y'all May 20th.
Knew something was coming.
Yeah, something. Yeah. Well, I got the show coming up May 20th. I got a show in Indianapolis on the 19th, and then I got Ohio on the 20th, so I'll be out that way. So if y'all want to come out to the show, I'll definitely get y'all in for free or whatever, and we could chop up some last minute questions or whatever like that backstage, whatever, and let the people know I'm really rocking with y'all, the podcast, the full way, man.
For sure. Thank you.
We're going to be there May 20th then.
Yeah.
Bet.
So look, we'll let you go. That way you can take your kids to the park. Thank you for coming on, bro. For real.
Thank you, for real.
You mean,
no problem.
It's a pleasure having you. We'll see you the 20th. You mean?
All right, man.
It's like 2 weeks, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, man.
All right, my guy.
Appreciate y'all, man. Love, man.
Yeah. Stay safe, bro.
Smooth. For sure. You too.